Right, JD, welcome to Endurance Zone.
Thanks, Dave.
So I want to ask you some questions around sort of your background and how you ended up here. But I mean, we've known each other a while, haven't we? But in a sort of a different sort of ruse. So
Yeah.
Explain a bit more about that.
Yeah. So my previous role was at Tour of Britain and the Women's Tour, working in the commercial team there. And we worked together when you came to us with the Blue Light Cycling Club.
Yep.
And we're looking for ways to. I think it coincided around COVID time.
Correct. Yeah.
And we, with the events, we wanted to do something to recognise, the emergency services, the key workers, as it were. And literally, I can almost remember having a conversation with someone at Sweet Spot about it, and at the same time, someone contacted us from Blue Lights, like, oh, here we go, this is the perfect moment, and got you guys together and you guys rode the last.
I think we did the last 3 years, and it was off the back of the pandemic. Cycling club specific, it's a charity, but specifically set up for doctors and nurses and fire to come together as a bit of a way that they can de-stress and share stories during that time that they maybe couldn't take home to their partners. And they got. Do you know what, the team there? I still talk to a lot of them. They absolutely loved it.
You rode like the last 20k of each stage.
Yeah.
And then across the line with all the crowd and everyone kind of showing their appreciation. It was good.
It's the only time I'm ever going to feel like a professional cyclist.
You look like
is that
Dave,
right?
You look like one.
Oh, I've never heard that before. Cool. Well, look, so you've ended up here at Endurance Zone with us. So what is your role here? Why are you here?
So I'm. You've given me the title of agency director.
Correct.
So what that means is, I guess there's two things that means. There's, firstly, we work with 400, 500 brands who run rewards and discounts and offers on our platforms. And one thing is to increase that visibility, get them as visible as we possibly can, to deliver performance on the platform.
Yep.
But probably being honest, the more interesting bit for me is that beyond that is connecting those brands with the audience at other times. It's not just about the delivery of those rewards. It's about, how can we put brand X in front of 750,000 cyclists? Yeah. And how can we put them in front of them in a way that's going to drive business, drive results for those brands? So it's not new because you guys have been doing it for a while, but for me, it's new, it's interesting, it's really exciting, and it's an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, it's one of those that we kind of tested it over the last sort of year. And you're right, we've got all of these brands in our reward platform, and we've got 400 of them, but we've also got over 100 million people that we can put these brands in front of. And as you said there, I mean, that's great, but it's so broad. Whereas actually having a conversation with the brand and saying, here's a really tailored audience that marries up with this new product that you're launching, whatever it is, we needed somebody with a bit more experience in that than probably us kind of understanding it, but needing somebody a bit more specialist in that. So, but I mean, that kind of leads into, and you touched on it a bit there around Sweet Spot, but what is your background? And sort of what is that motivation to join us here? Yeah,
so I kind of look at it, there's three sides of a triangle with the world that we operate in. There's the agency side, there's the rights holder side, and there's brand side. And I've done all three now. So I spent 15 years or so with agencies, with Mediacom and with Cara, working with some amazing brands, Emirates, Shell, RBS, Skoda. That job led me into working directly for Skoda for a couple of years, and I ran their sponsorship program, including the stuff around the Tour de France in 2014, which then led me on to the guys at the Tour of Britain asking me, Skoda were a sponsor, and said, can you actually come in and work with our other sponsors to make their sponsorships work harder? So then work with people like Aviva and Friends Life and Brother and lots of other brands. So I've kind of done all three sides, and my journey with the Tour of Britain came to an end last year, and Tim, who is Chief Operating Officer here, who, funnily enough, had worked with me at Tour of Britain because he was doing some stuff with Wahoo at the time, reached out and said, look, we've got this opportunity. This is a bit of the Endurance Zone business that we think has a lot of legs. would you be interested in coming in and helping us build this capability? And I was like, well, it's kind of where all three sides of that triangle for me meet really nicely in the middle. I knew you, I knew Tim.
Yep.
I did a bit of research, looked into the business. Everything looks pretty good. The growth has been, it's a great, the concept is great. The delivery is clearly, the execution is fantastic. You've got really good people here. Spoke to a couple of brands and said, what do you know about Endurance Zone? And everything was good. And I thought, well, that's it.
So I joined. You can't really ask more than that, can you?
No, exactly. So so when did I join? A couple of weeks before Christmas. In fact, my first day was Christmas party.
Christmas. I know you planned it really well, didn't you? Turned up on Christmas party.
I was very well behaved.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you were. I mean, you kind of touched on it there. It's kind of, what would you say some of the challenges are that sort of brands and sports organisations face, sort of, I guess, getting new products to market or getting in front of the right audience? Because we talk about it here a lot. With the changes in Facebook and Instagram, it's so hard or so expensive to hit the demographic you want. I mean, what do you feel some of the challenges are, and how we kind of help that?
Well, I think there's two. One is something that we're all feeling, which is, the global economy is down the toilet, quite frankly.
On its knees a little.
It's, and maybe we're feeling it maybe even harder in the UK than other markets, but it's tough. So any business needs very efficient, the marketing spend has to be incredibly efficient. And I think the problem with the sport and fitness sector, it's a good thing, but there's a plethora of opportunities, just more and more and more opportunities out there. So, if you're, my old job at MediaCom, and you're sitting there and you're going, okay, we've got a brief, we're launching a product, whatever. You've just got this enormous array of opportunities in front of you, some of which are getting more and more expensive, the Facebooks and the Googles of this world. What we do, and this is why the opportunity for me is so exciting, is we can, not only can we target really specifically, we can do some really clever stuff with some of our partners and really drill into the audience, but we can also kind of do it at the right time. So the example I'll give is, we were speaking to a brand, in fact you and I were both speaking to a brand last week, and one of our partners is an insurance business. I don't know, can I say?
Yeah,
Yellow Jersey.
Yeah, okay. I think so.
Yellow Jersey.
We're pretty vocal on who we work with. Because we're proud of it.
So Yellow Jersey Insurance, who bike insurance.
Yep.
And the brand, they produce lots of different products, lots of different offerings, but we can target someone who has bought a brand new bike at the point literally at which they're buying it or they're insuring it.
Yeah.
And we can then serve them a specific message, a specific offer that says, you bought your lovely brand new bike. Now, do you need to clean it? Do you need to, what else do you need to do other than insure it? Well, you want to keep it clean, you want to keep it safe, et cetera, et cetera. Not everyone can do that. And that's what's so exciting. And that's just one opportunity. There are hundreds. I'm working on briefs at the moment, and there's, 6 or 7 opportunities for another brand I've been talking to about drilling into moments where we can target. So not only the right people, but at the right time. And of course, it's all very trackable. You can literally see the results in front of your eyes as the sales come in or not. Obviously, the sales will come in, but we can start to, you can test, you can refine, all the stuff that modern marketeers want to do. We can do.
Yeah.
So that's the opportunity. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm sitting in this.
Yeah, I agree. It's something that as the platform and our partners have grown, we've seen more and more and more. And you're right, it's that really tailored approach to it. And we're so diverse in our partners. I mean, we started in cycling, as you know, and it was very much about British cycling and Yellow Jersey, and then we've kind of gone on to sort of home connected fitness brands, governing bodies across, probably a sneak peek, but Basketball England contract is now done, and we'll be launching with them soon. And we've got both here, Australia, US, and it's actually, you have these global brands that in a lot of cases they need to be working with 5 or 6 different people in different locations to try and reach that, whereas we get to sit with them and say, well actually we've got an audience of 1.2 million in Australia, and you've got a new product launching, then great, we can get you in front of this subset, whether that's all 1.2 or whether that's females, whether that's males, whether that's age demographics. And then, as you say, feed that data back to them. So it becomes super powerful, and it's only going to get bigger and better and more engaging the more partners we have coming in. So to be honest, I'm quite glad you're here, because it would be a bit of a headache if you weren't. So I suppose the last question is, how can brands get in touch with you? Somebody wants to chat to you about either being on the platform or looking at some of the partners and the reach we've got.
Sure. Well, the simplest way is email jdurling, and that's DURLING @endurantzone.com. But I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Insta, I'm on Twitter. So you can find me and get in touch.
Regular social networker.
Yeah, maybe.
Good. Well, look, I'm as I said before, I'm super chuffed you're here, and I think the fact that we kind of knew you before and knew you were the right person, and you knew Tim and stuff, we've got a great team here, and we're very lucky that we've hired slowly and we've kept our team, and no one's left us, touch wood, since we started this thing. So hopefully we'll be seeing you for many years.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, matey, back to work. Yeah.
Cheers. Thanks, Dave.